Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Trading Room recap for Monday, March the 9th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, let me just have a problem with my mouse here. There we go. Okay. Um, Actually, a rather slow day for me. I only traded four stocks today. And for the longest time, it was only two stocks, but the first two were really, really good. And again, I really focus on these reversal plays. This was a little bit different in that BITA, it had earnings. It had earnings, but if you take a look at where it closed on Friday, right around here, and actually, this is the pre-market. So, the earnings actually, when you look at it, they beat. But I didn't examine it that closely. But obviously, maybe in the guidance or something, they were well down. But it was an earnings beat. But it really didn't collapse until the market opened. I mean, this is basically where it was, and here's where it closed on Friday. So it was just hanging around. So it really didn't uh, pop into my big down gappers in the pre-market. But once the market opened, it just really collapsed. And look at this big volume bar when the market opened. And so, as I said to the room, we have to start watching this one. And what gave me the confidence was, here it held 60. Now, granted, I got in at over 61, but I looked at this big volume, or not the volume, but the candle here, and it looked like the buyers took over. This is almost like it's not quite a doji, but I mean, you see what I'm saying, that the candle was all the way down there, and then the buyers took over, drove it up. Sellers took over again. And again, it's sort of the same sort of situation. Again, the buyers took over. But what got me interested was this candle here, this volume candle right down there and on this candle. And so you see that the volume was decreasing a little bit, and then the volume picked up. And as it went through 61 and went through very quickly, I was able to get some at 61.29. And as I usually do, I usually get rid of at least half, especially in something that moves this quickly. I took out half at 62.45 from 61.29, so over $1 a share there. And then admittedly, I got a little bit greedy. I mean, here we are at 61.29. The high here is 63.58. I was actually trying to get $2 on the back half, but the bid never got to 60. Let's see, it never got to 63.29. It might look like it should have. This is 63.58, but actually it got very spready here. And so, as I say, I got a little bit greedy, but as it came back down through 62, I took out sit down through 63. I took the balance out at 62.78. So still a really nice trade. And look what has happened since then. It has just utterly collapsed, and now it's down. The market still has another hour and 15 minutes to go, and it's still down. Geez, I can't get this mouse up here. $10, down 15%. So have to see what happens. I definitely will be watching this one over the balance of the week because now, of course, there's a huge gap to fill. The second one was AFOP. And I'll be honest, I did not think I was going to get that much out of this one. And this came on my bouncers list. AFOP, 10 at 10 o'clock at $16. So this is why I was alerted to it. All these down candles come, and here is $16 is right here. So I started watching it, and it went down even further, down to 15.49. Then had the giant candle up and through $16. Now I didn't take it right there. I sort of watched it for a while. I wanted to see if it was going to hold 16, to be honest. And you can see that it touched right down there to 15.87. But the second time it went through 16, I decided that it looked like it was going to hold, and I took the trade a little bit late. I probably should have got in right around here at 16.10, right over the top of this little area here. But I did take the trade at 16.19. Didn't the next bar, it did pop up to 16.41, and then it just consolidated for quite a while, and then I got very not fortunate, I guess, but I mean, I was waiting for something like this to happen and took out half at 1656 and held on. This bar almost got me out, but because I had traded some here, I decided to hold on, and I was really hoping that it would break through 17. See how it got up to 16.99. Excuse me, a couple of times I think, but it couldn't break through 16, or sorry, 17. Now it's at 16.93 right now, and it might. Excuse me, it might. But I did get out the rest at 1687 right here. But I'll be watching this to see if it can break through 17, and if it does, I just may take it for a late day trade. And let's see, REPH. This was one, now it's not on this list right now. Well, it is right now. Okay, it is still a strong stock. And I was alerted to it, or I came upon it on this list, and it intrigued me because it popped solidly through 4 right here on huge volume. Okay, this is at 130, huge volume. So I thought, okay, something's going on. And so, bit of a chase. There's no question that this was a bit of a chase. I took the trade at 429. Got down to 426, but it, held this area quite nicely. And then it had a nice volume pop here, another one here. This was a sell-off, but it came right back down. I was really hoping that it could get up to 5. When I looked at let's see, the daily, no, I have to look at the monthly chart, and this is and this is what I'm looking at, 592 as the potential for the for resistance. So that's why I also took it. Even when I looked at, here, I knew it was a bit of a chase, but I thought, okay, it's another one of these bios. It may have just one of those strong surges. 592 was the resistance, so well below that. So I figured it was worth the risk. But I did end up taking out the trade right here at 455. I noticed that it is still now at 460. Probably watch this one tomorrow just to see what happens. But so not a bad trade, 429 to 455. And I am barely in this trade, FLML. I don't have it marked up here. Got into the trade at 1630 actually, and you know what? I think I'm going to be out of it very soon. I want to show you why I took the trade. Come on. Okay, well that's close enough. Took the trade right here. Okay, just a second. Okay, I'm out the trade at 1619 for a 10-cent loss. But why I took the trade was, you see here that it had all this consolidation. And I had been alerted to it. To be honest, I can't really remember why I took a look at this one, because it's up. It's up 5%, and it may have actually been on one of my strong stocks. It's not there right now, but I was watching this long consolidation, and you see this big volume spike here, and it did nothing. And a lot of times, what that can mean is that, later on, if you keep watching it, you might get rewarded by getting into the trade if it does do anything like a pop up. And this is exactly what happened here. It popped up, and I took the trade at 16. Actually, it was at 1630, and looked like it was trying to go. The bid ask was fairly tight at this point. It was only a penny, but then it widened up, as on this bar right there. It widened up, came back, but now I see that it's just it's just doesn't have a lot of action in it, and it really, I mean, going into this, I knew that it was a low volume trader. That's okay, I don't mind that, but it was this action right there, because sometimes that can just be a precursor to something happening down the road. If you have the patience and keep watching and watching and watching, and you get this action, this could have just kept going, but in this particular case, it didn't. I would take this trade all the time. But anyway, I'm out for a 10-cent loss, and that's it. So now I have to take a look at this one again. Yeah, okay, well, it's getting closer and closer to 17. So I'm going to wrap up this video and get back to this particular one and see if anything happens with it. All right, back to the cover page. Again, here's how to get in. You can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.